Hello everyone, welcome back to our English lesson video. My name is Mr. Gias, and in this video we will be talking about chapter 4 unit 2, which is online class. Do you have an online class? What do you usually do in an online class? Does your online class have any rules? Those are the kinds of things that we will be talking about in this video. So without waiting any further, let's get straight into it. The first thing that we'll be talking about would be, what is an online class? Well, as the name suggests, an online class is a class where you study through online mediums. What are those mediums? Well, online mediums include things like your phone, your laptop, your iPad, your PC, stuff like that. Usually, in an online class, you would not meet with your teacher or your other classmates face to face, aside from the occasional Zoom meetings or even Google Meet meetings. Online class activities are usually divided into two things. One is meetings, online meetings, where you meet face to face with your teacher and other fellow classmates, and the other is independent learning. The first thing that we will be talking about will be the independent learning. So independent learning is where you are usually required to study by yourself at home. You are usually provided with some books or materials that you can learn when you're at home. Let's take an example. Let's say you are invited into a Google Classroom. Usually in a Google Classroom, you're already provided with the books or materials. Now, some online classes also gives you a schedule so that you know when to learn which books on which times so that you can manage your time, while some other online classes doesn't give you a schedule so that you are free to study whenever you want, whichever book you want, whenever you want. Of course, the books are usually given to you digitally so that you don't have a physical copy of it, but you can access it through digital meanings, like as I said, through Google Classrooms or maybe even other apps. The second common activity that is usually found in online class is online meeting, or you can also say virtual meetings. Now, at this time, you're usually required to join a Zoom meeting or perhaps even a Google Meet sometimes. You'll be given a link and then you need to join it. Now, there are usually some other rules that you need to follow before you join. For example, sometimes you have to wear a formal wear, sometimes you have to wear a school uniforms, and sometimes you can just freely use whatever outfits that you have. But not only that, sometimes you have to mute your microphones when the teacher is giving the materials to study. And sometimes you have to turn on your camera so that the teachers or your friends perhaps could see that what you are wearing and how you are doing so that the teachers would know if you are not paying attention to the class. Usually in virtual meetings, there are some actions that are commonly found in virtual meetings, like say in this picture. As you can see, the first one is raising his hand. The second one is taking notes about what the teacher said. The third one is paying attention to the teachers. The fourth one, you can see that there's a microphone symbol that is being slashed, which means that he is being muted. His microphone is muted so that he doesn't bother his friends or the teachers that are currently explaining the study materials. The fifth one would be rather difficult, but I'm sure you'll understand that it is to turn on the camera so that the teacher can see if your outfits follows the online rules, as well as to see if you're following this class or not. The sixth one will be share screen, where the teacher would share their own screens to better teach the students about what they are talking about. As you can see here on the picture, it says something about charts. Here you can see an example of a dialogue of Ibu Ayu's class. Here you can see that on the first page, you can see Galang and Monita didn't mute their mics, so the teacher could hear what they are talking about in their own home. Here Monita is singing a song while Galang is mumbling something. Perhaps he's wondering what to eat for dinner later. And for the first page, we can see that Ibu Ayu is telling Andre and Pipit to turn on the camera so that the teacher could know if Andre and Pipa is present. After that, Ibu Ayu tells the students to turn off their microphones so that they could further focus on the class that is being taught. But of course, before the classroom begins, she would first share the online class rules. And the rules for Ibu Ayu's online class is this. As you can see, there are 6 rules in Ibu Ayu's online class. Starting from the first one, which is join the class on time. What does it mean? Usually, before the virtual meetings begin, your teacher would send you an invite into the meeting, whether it be in Zoom meeting or in Google Meet. And then they would say when the meeting would start. And if you arrive into the online class before that time, that means you join the class on time. The second one would be wear the school uniforms. Not all online class have this. In some informal online class, you can use free clothing. You can use t-shirts, shirts, jackets, even your pajamas to join your online class. Ibu Ayu is only placing this rule here because it seems like Ibu Ayu is teaching a formal class. Number 3, we can see that Ibu Ayu's rules tells them to turn on the camera. That is, of course, to see if they are wearing the correct clothes or uniforms, as well as to see whether they are focusing on the class or not. In the fourth one, we can see that rule says turn off the microphone when it is not used. What does it mean? Well, sometimes when your microphone is on, some other sounds would follow, and that would distract your other fellow classmates as well as the teachers that are explaining the lesson. And so you need to turn off your microphone first before turning it on back again if you want to ask something. And that leads us to the fifth rule, which is to use the raise hand button in case you want to ask about something. Now, usually in Zoom meetings or Google Meet, there usually be a button where you can raise your hands instead of, putting it on like in the videos. You should just click it and then the teachers will be notified of it. It is used in case you want to ask something or perhaps you're curious about an aspect of the lesson. You can use the button to raise your hand and then ask the questions. At number 6, respect the teacher and your classmates. What does it mean? Well, it means you must follow the rules that were previously stated, which is wear the correct clothes, join on time, and stuff like that. Don't be noisy, mute your microphones, so that all of you can focus and learn together about the study materials. And that's all for this video. We've talked about online classes, which is what is an online class, what are the common words and activities in online classes, what are the two major activities that are usually found in online classes, which is independent learning and virtual meetings, what are the rules in virtual meetings, and stuff like that. Hopefully you all understand about online class in this video. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys again on the next video. Goodbye and have a nice day.